Greetings, welcome. Ooh, voice effects. Hold on, let me see something. Never mind. I don't think I could test that, so hold on 1 second, guys. Go away, fly thingy, whatever you are. Look at my big old shoes, you guys. I swear, I'm gonna keep talking about these shoes because this is so me wanting some shoes. Like, okay, they're too big, but I'm gonna get them because they were the only ones left. And this is the only size they had. And so I decided to wear clown shoes. I was like, well, as long as they don't fall off, I'm going to just wear them. Yeah, I'm that quirky, you guys. So I was like, shoes. These puppies is almost brand new in this piece. Shit, fuck that. I want these. They 3 sizes too big. Oh, shit. Anyway. Greetings and welcome. Bear with me, guys. I'm really not gonna be here long. God damn, because I'm waiting for my turn. My turn for the grass cutting. So I'm waiting for the gentlemen to get over here and cut old Bloomy Bloom's. Bloomy Bloom's yard needs some handling. Hold on, okay, guys? Just give me a second. I want to give you guys some sparklies or something here. Y'all know me. I like to play around a little bit, especially right now. You know, when you have gone through quite a bit, you got to remember to put that in some kind of way. You got to do it. Ooh, let's do this one. Yeah, baby. That's my new favorite filter and shit. Anyway, I'm just sitting here waiting on my turn. So I'm sitting in the grass and enjoying some nice fresh air as I wait for the yard folks to make their way over here. And do not plan on being here long. I have some things to take care of, but as you guys could see, come on now, the buggies, thingies, they love me so much, okay? No, I'm just kidding. I think I put something in the title is you owe Karmic fam nothing. Yeah, I had to put that in the title, and so this is only going to be for whoever feels like it's for them, okay? I have to remind people of that because I find it to be fascinating how folks come in and it's like, well, if it ain't for you, then you should be free to be going on about your life. And everybody's pennies and chonies and draws get all in the thither, and I'm like, well, why are you here, man? Jesus Christ. If it's not for you, it's not. If you don't feel like it resonates with you, then it doesn't. If you don't feel like it's jiving with you, then it doesn't. And just go on and live your life, right? Simple as that. But this needed to be said because for some, it does resonate. A part of, this path and journey, one of the toughest things, at least I could say for me, it's been the toughest life lessons, is that first and foremost that I was loved and loving and lovable, and that I deserved it. Also about boundaries and about how I had a right to stand up for myself, to defend myself, to stand up for truth. I had a right to that. I also had a right to defense when individuals try to push my boundaries or try to violate me in some way. Those were the hardest because of the conditioning, the culture, the 3D matrix grid, all of those different things in which I've come from, being reared in one of the most toxic narcissistic dynamics you can imagine. Because it was the pretty kind. It was the kind that looked more like mommy dearest than it looked like some of the more obvious forms of abuse. That's what makes it insidious. That's what makes it dangerous. But when you're conditioned under that, especially if you were the empath or the earth angel starseed of that ancestry, then you were the scapegoat, okay? You were the scapegoat, you were the black sheep, you were the one expected to be the emotional baggage cleanup crew. You were the one expected to absorb everyone else's garbage and to not have a thing to say about it. You were the one that was expected to go away nice and quietly and never speak of the injustices done. You were the one expected to give your everything away and smile at the same time and act like it didn't happen. That's the role that is pushed hard upon you. It is driven deep to the point to where as you go on in life, you don't even realize that that's how you've been operating for so long. Going about trying to please everybody but you. Going about trying to make sure everyone is taken care of but you. Going about caring about everyone else's feelings but yours. Only to end up depleted. Feeling depleted, feeling robbed, feeling all sorts of ways. The narcissistic family and karmic dynamic is very insidious and egotistical and entitled. That's been a part of the whole issue to begin with. It's how the saga all starts. And when tragedy hits, that doesn't change. Those that are narcs are still narcs. It doesn't change. Actually, they use trauma as one of their primary ways to get what they want. As I look back at my own life, I can see that clearly. Clearly. Especially once, folks started realizing that, I was slipping away. I was starting to, go on. I kind of got tired of the whole fuck shits and stuff. And so when they really started seeing like, oh, yeah, she really kind of don't care. She ain't interested. So trauma. So when someone dies, she'll come around. This is why a lot of people were sacrificed in rituals because this is something in my family that, one of the ways you can get back into their energy is somebody died. Somebody, took really ill and maybe then we can get near their energy, work our works, do more spells, put more shit in their food, drop more shit on them, do more crazy, weird shit with a smile. All the while pretending like it's not happening. See, that's a part of narcissism, the gaslighting. You're crazy. It's all in your mind. It was never in your mind. But when trauma hits, how do, I tell people this all the time. If you want to see some, I'm going to speak about black folks, because I'm black. So I get to do this, okay? Like people be all tight, I'm like, I can do this part. Okay, I'm sure every culture got their shit. So I'm not trying to imply there's no culture better than the other, I promise you. Every ethnicity and culture, that's just the nature of the game. We all have our shit, okay? But in the black culture, if you want to see some real shit, put some money and stuff on the table and have somebody die. Okay? Put some money and stuff on the table and have somebody die. And this is where you're going to see the real get down about black folks. I've seen this stuff play out in my life. I know what the deal is. So nothing brings out the crazy in the culture than death and money. And so here comes gaslighting, projecting, and manipulation in full effect. In full effect. This is where the empaths and the sensitives and the earth angels and star seeds have to keep their boundaries up, keep their energy clear, and stay in their truth. Tragedy does not change what has happened prior. Tragedy does not change what has happened prior. And I'm just going to say this. I'm going to make it plain. I'm going to bring it in a way that most will be able to understand clearly without even needing to be awakened or spiritual. If somebody had murdered your son or daughter, and the next day they died, would you go and pay for their funeral? The person that murdered your daughter, they died the next day. And it was discovered that maybe they didn't have anything, or maybe there was no one to step in to do whatever the things needing to be done. But I'm taking you back. They murdered your daughter. The day after they murdered your daughter, so you're still dealing with the loss of your own daughter. Just giving that as an example, son, daughter, however you want to equate that, but a loss, right? A death. They murdered your daughter. And you're still trying to process. The next day they died. And then their family was involved in killing your daughter, or hiding that they killed your daughter, or hiding that they had a role in it. And then the next day, they come to you asking for assistance to pay for the funeral of who passed away, the person that actually murdered your daughter, right? What would you do? It sounds tough, huh? But it's not. See, all of that, people use that. That's high level. I call it high level sophisticated manipulation. Pulling on the heartstrings of people. It's sad to me. Using children and all of that, want to put little JoJo. Oh, look at little JoJo. That, all of that it's wrong. It's wrong on so many levels, but that's what people like that do. Yet, those were the same people that was plotting on your demise. The same people that sat back and laughed. The same people that turned a blind eye on to things that they knew were happening. The same people that just sat there and benefited from someone else hurting you or your daughter or whatever for their survival. All for their survival. So it didn't matter to them. But now that someone has died, now that the person that killed your daughter was a part of it, knew about it, benefited from it, smiled at it, laughed at it, was waiting for it, now is expecting some type of assistance and wants to use children to make somebody's heartstrings pull. This is why I had to pull away from most people. Because as a sensitive empath, you are already wired in that way. So we have to learn how to put up boundaries and say no, even if tears come down our eyes while we say no. Because guess what? Here's the surprise, and I'm going to keep saying this probably throughout my existence. what helped me to finally get to this place is when I finally got clear of all of that, starting to realize, like, you know what, guess what? Once upon a time, they didn't know you. Once upon a time, there was no you. Once upon a time. So in other words, people have managed to survive in life and can survive in life and do what they have to do as they always have, whether it is you or not. And essentially, it is their responsibility. That's the issue with the narcissistic dynamic. It's nothing but a lot of group control and codependency. Yet it is reversed and projected as if it's the actual earth angels or star seeds or, that's the codependent, but that's not really the truth. Because you'll see them rile up when you disconnect and when you say no and when you put up a boundary. And if codependency wasn't an issue, then what's the problem? If they are as adult and strong and capable and able as they have marked about saying, then what is the problem then? It is the expectation and the entitlement that's thinking that something is owed to them or belongs to them. And it doesn't. The audacity in cases as which I just expressed, you are a part of the fuck shit. You knew about it. You benefited from it. You collaborated with it. You and your children benefited from the lies, from the deceit, from the betrayal, from hurting someone else. A life that is just as important as yours. Actually, the person that it belongs to. Now, you feel entitled? Because there's been a tragedy? No. You owe karmic family nothing. A part of their karma is receiving their lot for their actions and conduct and behavior and willingness to participate in injustices towards others in the name of money and stuff, and worship money and stuff that didn't belong to them. So when a tragedy happens, you owe them nothing. It's unfortunate. Kids don't have nothing to do with it, but the kids have adult parents that are responsible for them. That's called growing up and adulting it and figuring out life like everybody else. They didn't want divine beings to be supported. Why should they be supported? They didn't care. They didn't care whether the divines had lived or died. Actually, they were hoping. They didn't care about the struggle or if they had support or help to do anything. So it applies to them. A tragedy doesn't change that. This is their lot. Maybe some will learn the lesson of this, you invest in toxicity and deceit and thievery and lies and gossip and games and all of that, you pay. You pay. It's their lot to take up and process their own grief for what has happened. That's their lot. Divines have absorbed emotional baggage of others far too long. There are financial troubles and burdens. That's their lot as well. Divines have absorbed taking responsibility for things that were not ours to take to begin with too long. These are the people that paid folks to beat you up, laughed at you and talked about you behind your back. These are the people that didn't really give a fuck as long as there was some kind of benefit for them and theirs. These are the people that cyber stalked and bullied Divine Feminine. And tried to kill her and her son. And wouldn't have blinked twice. These are the people that built a wedge between you and Divine Feminine with lies, with high-level spell work, trickery, manipulation, bullying, downright bullying, blackmailing, and threats. So long as they can benefit. The tragedy doesn't change it. As long as we take on the responsibilities, woes, and emotions of karmics, we reap their karma, we absorb. When orders have been given to cut it out and cut them off, Divine meant it. Some of these folks have exceeded their time, and they exceeded the grotesque nature of the violations that they have done. It is time for divines to be free of karmic energies. We are not responsible for them, or their lifestyles, or their children, or their families and their homes and their needs. They need to do the same shit that they were sitting in groups saying Divine Feminine needed to do. They need to now do it. Grow up and learn how to take care of themselves. Learn how to take care of their own responsibilities, burdens, whatever that means, including tragedy. Divine Feminine and Masculines, it is important that you continue to follow your higher soul's resonance and high guidance, not your friends, not what people think, not traditions. It's imperative for you. Because remember that what we choose to do, we reap cause and effect. This is never going to change. We attach to what we invest in. This has been a hard, long lesson. Compassion can get us in trouble when we don't put that boundary up and do what our guidance has been telling us to do. Compassion is needed for the self now, Divine Feminine and Masculine. Ding dong. because you guys were violated in ways that most wouldn't even survive. So let the killers, the murderers, the stalkers, the bounty hunters, the karmics, the secret society, dark witch covens, those that took delight in bringing a wedge between you and divine feminine, let them handle their business and their tragedy. It's not yours to carry. None of it.